Khaby Lame sits at over 160 million followers. But at the rate he's currently going, people think he's going to lose every single one of them. Almost every video he posted would pull in hundreds of millions of views, and he did it all without saying a single word. Khaby took over the ranks and became the biggest TikToker in the world, but now, if you scroll through his comment section, it tells a completely different story. Biggest fall off ever. Haven't seen bro in years. About time to retire, man. So, what actually happened? Through a series of cancellation attempts, fighting with the wrong people, disturbing mechanisms, and not deserving his success to begin with, he's clearly not what he used to be. I'm in Dart, and as always, make sure to subscribe with notifications on. Khaby Lame didn't start out as a content creator. He was working a factory job in Italy, just trying to get by, until early 2020 when the pandemic hit and he lost his job completely. With nothing else to do, he downloaded TikTok, and at first, nothing really happened. His early videos were just basic skits and short dances, the same thing that everybody else was doing at the time. And after an entire month of posting, he had barely gained a few thousand followers. The main problem was that he only spoke Italian, which meant most of the world couldn't understand him. So instead of trying to compete with everybody else, he completely changed his approach. He stopped talking. Instead, Khaby started reacting to life hack videos. The kind where someone turns the simplest task into something unnecessarily complicated, and then Khaby would respond by doing it the normal way. No words at all were said in the videos, just a simple stare of disappointment, and for some reason, it worked. Towards the end of the same year, Khaby went from averaging around 300,000 views per video to garnering over 23 million on his first viral reaction. He noticed that this was a perfect opportunity to take, so he went from posting a video every single day to uploading upwards of 6 or 7 videos daily. And every video followed the exact same formula. Find someone doing something stupid, simplify it, and react. That was it. But it worked better than anything else on the platform. In this video here, you can see a factory worker taking a bite of a chocolate bar on the conveyor. Khaby thought it would be funny to react to the video, acting as if he ended up with the half-eaten piece, and so did over 100 million others. However, the videos didn't just stop there. Posting more of these ridiculous life hacks, Khaby had about 20 videos in a row that had on average over 100 million views. He celebrated 2 million and 3 million followers just 8 days apart. And just over a month later, he already had more followers than TikTok itself. To put this into context, in January of 2021, Khaby gained 55,000 followers. In the months of May and April combined, 60 million more had been added to his total count. Every single video was now going viral. Celebrities started copying him. Athletes were doing his signature pose after scoring in games. Brands were lining up to work with him. He also partnered with multiple major companies. He appeared in advertisements, even ending up with his own character in games like Fortnite, and eventually he passed Charli D'Amelio, becoming the most followed person on TikTok with over 160 million.
Khaby Lame is officially the most followed TikToker in the world.
But this is where things started to change. From the outside, his content looked extremely low effort. No talking, no real editing, just reacting to other people's videos. And while that was exactly what made him unique, it also made people question him. Why was he getting so much success for doing so little? People started comparing him to smaller creators, some of which who would spend hours or even days editing, scripting, and filming only to get a fraction of the views.
People thought there was too much reward for too little effort, which can often turn into a person becoming hated.
All while Khaby was becoming one of the biggest creators in the world by doing what looked like the bare minimum. And once that narrative starts, it doesn't go away. At the same time, another issue was building: repetition. Khaby's content worked because it was simple, but it also meant every video was almost identical. It had the same setup, the same reaction, and always the same punchline. At first, that was the appeal. But over time, people started to realize that they already knew what was going to happen.
People are mad because he's making the same goddamn content. And you don't have to believe me, bro. Look, it's 2024, bro. What are you talking about?
A post on Reddit reads, "Khaby Lame is boring, not funny, predictable, low effort, and famous just because he uses other people's content." I liked his intention at the beginning with the rise of stupid life hacks on TikTok, but now he is really out of ideas and totally misses the point of some TikToks. 90% of his TikToks are low effort and completely missing the point. He shouldn't deserve the recognition he's got right now. I really have nothing against the guy. Just that there are some people who put real effort and can't get through, and I don't think that's fair. And they weren't alone, because all the replies agreed. I'm happy he's doing well, but his content just sucks. I feel he ruins the fun of the jokes people are trying to make. Yeah, sometimes these life hacks are meant to be funny and extra, but he steps in and simplifies it. Cool dude, way to ruin the joke. And it's the same shit over and over again. Yeah, the one that just pissed me off is him reacting to a dude sawing a laptop in half to make it smaller. Is it really that hard, man? To realize that it's obviously a joke. After hitting #1 on TikTok, you would have expected Khaby to throw some massive celebration, thank everybody, or do something crazy. However, he did nothing. Not a single thing. He didn't acknowledge anyone for helping him become the most followed TikToker, or even make a video talking about it. In fact, Khaby went from uploading multiple times a day to now only posting once or twice a week, sometimes even less. And when he did post, it felt different. They were a lot more polished, and at the same time, way more commercial. Most of his videos started seeming more like ads. But while people were already starting to lose interest in his content, older clips of him started surfacing, and they weren't exactly a good look. A couple of them quickly started gaining attention, ones in which he was reacting to people's appearances. Uploads started gaining traction where they would replace Lame in his last name with Lame, and would title the account along the lines of "Khaby is lame." They made compilations of him telling girls to do dishes, making fun of people that do SH, joking about there being an earthquake when a bigger guy dances around his apartment, talking down multiple women that have small butts, and apparently inappropriately handling being around another girl. Some people tried to come to his defense. "So you mean that he can't joke anymore?" But would always get ratioed in the replies. He can't joke about people's bodies. Some people can't control how their body looks. Other content creators started picking up the drama.
Basically, people are finding out about some old videos that Khaby has on his account. In a lot of them, he seems to be judging girls for not having a big enough butt. A lot of people think that Khaby should have his account taken down for this.
But in general, the cancellation didn't fail. Even though the situation died down, the damage didn't completely disappear, because now there was a new idea around him. Not just that his content was repetitive, but that maybe he wasn't as genuine as people thought. It didn't destroy his career, but it added doubt to something that was already building, and over time, that doubt would turn into something much bigger. At the same time, his views started to drop. Videos that once pulled 50 to 100 million were now struggling to hit those same numbers. And it probably didn't help that just a couple of days later, he would upload a video of him pulling out a lightsaber with the caption, "In a racist society, it's not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist." This was shortly followed up with a second story reading, "Say no to racism," and then a third which went a bit more into detail. I'm seeing a lot of comments where people say, "I unfollow you because you did this video." I don't mind, guys. People still use racism because they have nothing to do in their life. You can also unfollow me. I don't care about the numbers. I care about your hearts. Well, this didn't resonate too well with his audience, as he even admitted himself that people were unfollowing him because of it. And then things just started getting weird. At one point, this channel here turned Khaby into this robotic version of himself, looping his movements and making him feel less like a real person. What started as a simple reaction face slowly turned into a meme that people were remixing, distorting, and overusing to the point where it didn't even feel like Khaby anymore. Well, the original video sits at just under 10 million views, and all the comments are on the same page about how this man opened the gate to hell. But people argued that that's kind of the point, because when your content is built on doing the same thing over and over again, it becomes really easy for people to turn you into something like this. Not a creator, just a loop. But out of nowhere, TikTok superstar Khaby Lame was detained by ICE before being allowed to leave the US. In June of 2025, Khaby was detained in the United States after reportedly overstaying his visa and was forced to leave the country shortly after. Instead of being fully deported, he was given a voluntary departure, meaning he could leave without being banned from re-entering the country. But that didn't stop the internet from running with it. Almost instantly, people started twisting the story and exaggerating it, all as ways to use it as more proof that his career was falling apart. Some even claimed he had been reported directly to immigration authorities, although there was no real evidence to back that up. And at this point, it didn't even matter what was true anymore, because once people start believing that you've fallen off, and the statistics are there to prove it, there's no real way to escape the harsh reality.